about, I think, 10 acres for a public works department and an area for a future fire station, and that roadway access from the top of Muse Bishop Road over there, where that road comes in now, currently all the way over to the school, through the Koski property and then onto the school property, you know, in hopes that that would be the main entrance to the new school and that they wouldn't end up using School Street. So, we don't have any more information to give you other than we submitted the drawing that they had asked for, and that's where we're at right now on that. I just want to mention that, you know, you see the progress on the Muse School. They have footing poured already, and they're making progress. They plan on opening it for this September 2017 school year. They still haven't finalized the plans for what they will do with School Street if we can't acquire that property for them along to the state-owned property. So they have to have some preliminary plans in the works for how they would improve School Street, but right now we're still hoping that we can work with them and give them another route. Neither of us has any final plans yet for it. Then last but not least, I want to mention the Cheney property. I mean, most of you are aware that we've been fighting that for years, and it was suggested that why don't we just go tear it down and then face the consequences, but that's not. It doesn't work that way. We can't break the law, or they call it, we can't exercise self-help. So, I mean, that's not a solution. We follow everything we have to in court, and it's just a waiting game. You know, we still have no new information on that other than we're waiting for our next court date. So,
we established a property maintenance board and had a hearing before the property maintenance board, and his appeal was denied, and he appealed to the Court of Common Pleas, and that just happened maybe a week or 10 days ago, and that's the status of that right now. And also on the ABB property, where our solicitor is trying to arrange a telephone conference for this week if possible with ABB.
Do you have anything else to add, Frank? A couple of things at least we have going on right now.
Some of the residents are still inquiring about our cable company here. I mean, we have Comcast. You have a choice of what DirecTV and Dish Network. People are wondering why, you know, Verizon Fios is not available to us. Does anybody here on the board know how close it is to us, or why we can't?
I believe that it's at the Orgasmo Farm.
It is Oak Brook?
At Oak Brook. Does anybody know for sure? I think I've been told that.
That's a good question. I'd like to know that answer.
People complain about the rates, but I've been through a few of the companies myself, and I think you reach a magic number up around 160. You go with the promo rate, and then after 2 years that expires, and then you're back up to about paying $160. I've been with DirecTV, Comcast, switch back and forth, and somebody told me that's the thing to do, just keep switching back and forth.
What I saw with Comcast was a bait and switch. They were to bring service to us for $120 a month. I'm not going to talk about what happened 18 years ago. That was really a bad thing. But more recently it sounded reasonable, and I think that they quoted us $112 a month. And it was for a 2-year lease. And they kind of dragged their feet, and then they sent the contract, and the contract didn't say what they said. And they called me maybe 8 or 9 times, and I said, look, I don't understand what's going on here. Now you want $150, and they wanted upfront money as well, plus I think a 5-year commitment. And that just was too much, so we don't have Comcast. So if they do come to Muse, just be very careful what you sign, what they tell you and what it says.
Who do you have, Elizabeth?
We have Dish.
Dish. Because I spoke with Comcast, because I got all those things in the mail and everything, and there was quite a savings if you didn't have all the channels and so on and so forth. I'm still paying $175 a month, and I got the fastest internet you can possibly get in the area. High definition, 1 high definition boxes, 3 regular high definition boxes, but HBO and Stars isn't included in that. My husband has to have the clicker that he has all the channels, every channel you can get, he has to have it. So 1 TV gets them all. The other 3 TVs in the house just gets what they get with that little
What
box.
do you have?
Comcast.
Your Comcast?
They've treated me very well. That's one thing I can honestly say. They have my complete phone service all over the United States and Canada. Unlimited. Nothing more. I mean, I don't have to pay anything else.
We have been encouraging Verizon to come here. I know there were rumors out that the township was resisting letting Verizon come in, but that wasn't true at all. We call them every so often to find out if they're getting closer to us.
And they're still saying the same thing, and they're not interested in any more landlines. It's all cell phones. They're not spending any more.
Well, no, I think they were talking about cable.
In the cable, right, and Verizon,
Fios is their television.
Verizon was supposed to bring Fios all the way to that corner on O'Hara and 980. That's where Verizon's boxes are, and that's where all the problems, whenever they were having trouble with landlines, they would go to that area, and there's where they said that they were going to bring Fios to that. Now, I was talking to a very, pardon me?
When?
This was a couple years ago whenever we was talking, but that was whenever they said, you know what? It's not worthy for us to bring Fios out in the country like this, whenever we can go to Pittsburgh with all the apartment buildings and so on and so forth, and cover all these here multi-units in a very small area, and here they would have to run the Fios, forever. Comcast doesn't even, it doesn't even go all the way up 980. I come in from Cecil, Comcast. My mother-in-law on 980 is the last one on 980 that has Comcast. From my mother-in-law on down, I don't know how far down, has Dish or whatever. So Comcast stops right there.
You're talking about Verizon? Or
No, Comcast. So then we were thinking, hoping the Verizon would come up the other way, but they said they weren't going to do it.
Verizon told us the same thing coming up 50. They're in South Fayette, and they says they were working their way up 50 towards Cecil, but then we keep asking them. They said there's so much dead space from the dense area of South Fayette all the way up to the Cecil Township line that they don't know when they're going to come. It's been years. So, I mean, it's not us that's keeping them out.
The prices are about the same.
Right.
The only benefits that you have, and I live over in South Bend, the only benefit I have is I can play one against the other every 2 years and working for something. And that's what I do. Their rates are about the same. One's as good as the other. So,
I've tried that, and my daughter has Dish. I have Comcast.
they threw out a,
She ended up paying just as much as I do, and she doesn't have near the coverage that I'm getting.
they'll spit out a $300 or $400 gift card every couple of years to keep you.
Who
So,
does?
either one of them, they both do it. They both play the game. You would think the competition would bring the prices down, but it's all tiered service. It's basically the same. One's no different than the other.
I just know someone who just got a $100 gift card from hooking up to DirecTV. They just got a $100 gift card for Kohl's for switching over.
Yeah, the
And
biggest
it
one I've ever
legit.
got
I
was
mean, she got a gift
$300.
card.
But you give that right back to them in the rates.
Oh, absolutely.
Shawn,
If you have Comcast for telephone though, and the power goes out, you can't use your land phone.
Right.
You have to use your cell phone. Because my sister has the phones with Comcast. I don't, I'm with Verizon. I know that when the power goes out, your phones are out.
That's if you lose cable. That's if you lose cable, but if the power goes out and you don't lose cable, you still have phone. Because you have a modem into the house that takes your phone service.
If anybody has a street light that ever goes out near your house, Ned, just call the township. If you can, get the number on the pole, and we'll file work order
Yeah.
with West.
Look for the round tag on the pole. That's West Penn's tag. If you don't see that and there's light on top of it, then grab the next, if there's a number available, take that. But you want to look for the round metal tag on the pole. That's the West Penn power tag.
It has WPPC on it, embedded in it.
And then just call down the office, reception will take the information and turn it over to West Penn.
Well, anytime that the power went out and our lights up here, I would call, I would just tell them where it is, the street, which light it is, and I never had a problem. Within a few days, they would fix it. But speaking of lights, this isn't related directly here, but at the bridge in Cecil,
Which bridge? When?
the Bishop Bridge, the bridge there, when you go at the end of the road from this way.
That's Casciola.
Yeah. At night, if you're coming from Bridgeville and you have to make a left on that bridge, there is no visibility. It's very, very dangerous.
I agree with that 100%.
And I'm telling you, there's going to be some serious accidents there. You don't know if you're in the right area of the bridge until you get there.
Are you saying that we need to have a light there?
You better believe it. But I don't know whose responsibility it is.
We'll find out.
And when it's raining and so on, it's even worse because the car that's going into Cecil, those lights are hitting you, and the ones that are hitting it, I'm telling you, it's scary. It is.
You're right.
It's dangerous.
My family is farms out in the Hickory area, and I
Yeah.
do that route all the time on the Cowden actually. And it's 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30 in the morning before it really gets light. With traffic going eastbound on State Route 50, if they're doing 38 and you're pulling out of there, you don't see them until the last minute, there is a good potential for a T-bone accident there, no doubt about it.
He was talking about going westbound, though. You were talking about going
I'm
eastbound.
talking about going westbound, I'm talking about eastbound traffic on 50 going towards Bridgeville. When they're coming around that bend, even though it's a slight bend, if you're trying to make a left, even if you're trying to make a right, and you observe there's no traffic on the three ways, someone going 38 through there, it happens every hour of every day, let's be honest. There is a good potential for a T-bone accident at that intersection without there being any power, and it's dusk or later hours or poor visibility or whatever. Very good potential for a T-bone accident there.
We call